The galaxy had long viewed Earth as a backwater planet, primitive, disorganized, and barely worth serious attention. Despite being the cradle of humanity, Earth had always been overshadowed by older, more technologically advanced civilizations who dominated interstellar politics and trade. For decades, humans had quietly watched, endured, and advanced in secret, careful never to show the full scope of their power. Their military capabilities were deliberately hidden, masked by treaties and self-imposed restrictions aimed at keeping the peace and avoiding intergalactic suspicion. But beneath the surface, Earth had grown formidable. Its scientists had developed revolutionary technologies, blending artificial intelligence with bioengineering, creating weaponry that could tear through the toughest alien defenses. Its fleets, though modest in size, were equipped with stealth, systems and tactics so adaptive that many would have called them invincible. Yet all of this was kept deliberately out of sight, a deliberate holding back. The story opens with the Galactic Council, a massive political body composed of dozens of species receiving Earth's unexpected transmission. The message was clear and ominous. Humanity's restraint was at its limit. Earth warned that for the sake of fragile peace, they had kept their deadliest weapons and strategic advantages hidden. But those days were ending. If the Council or any of its member species continued to threaten humanity or its interests, Earth would respond with overwhelming force. The Council chambers buzzed with disbelief and outrage. Many species considered Earth's warning a bluff, the threats of a rising power desperate to prove itself. Alien ambassadors debated heatedly, dismissing the message as arrogance or propaganda. Some saw Earth's caution as weakness, others as a dangerous bluff that could destabilize the delicate political balance. There were factions that wanted to investigate quietly, but many preferred to ignore the warning altogether. Meanwhile, covert operations across human colonies began to detect unusual activities. Alien agents infiltrated mining outposts, sabotaged supply lines, and incited uprisings among local populations loyal to Earth. These aggressive moves were calculated to provoke a reaction, to test humanity's limits. Unbeknownst to most, Earth's intelligence agencies were already tracking these provocations. They understood that the galaxy underestimated humanity's capacity for retaliation. Earth's leaders, military commanders and diplomats alike, met in secure underground bunkers to discuss responses. Their decision was unanimous. Earth would no longer be the galaxy's silent guardian. It was time to make it clear that humanity's power was real, and that the warnings were not idle threats. The tension escalated dramatically when an important Earth space station, the hub for trade and communication, was attacked. The assault was swift and brutal, carried out by a coalition of alien mercenaries and hostile factions hoping to cripple Earth's reach and provoke a military overreaction. The station's defenses, though strong, were overwhelmed, and the loss shocked the galaxy. This attack was the spark. Earth broadcast a final, chilling message to the Galactic Council and all hostile species. Humanity's patience had ended. The time for restraint was over. The message was accompanied by a demonstration, a display of new weapons tested in orbit, visible from distant systems, signaling a new era. The galaxy was stunned. The question now was no longer whether Earth would fight, but how devastating their response would be. After the devastating attack on the Earth space station, the fragile illusion of peace shattered. Humanity's leadership convened an emergency council, composed of military commanders, scientists, and diplomats. The unanimous decision was clear. The era of holding back was over. Earth's strategic restraint was lifted, and the full extent of human military might would be unleashed against any who threatened their sovereignty or colonies. The world watched as Earth's skies darkened with the departure of countless starships, many previously kept in secret. These fleets were not just well-armed, they were outfitted with groundbreaking technologies that had been decades in development. Cloaking devices that rendered entire fleets invisible, weapons that could disrupt enemy shields instantly, and AI-driven combat units capable of learning and adapting mid-battle with near-human intuition. This reveal stunned the Galactic Council and their member species. For centuries, they had underestimated Earth, dismissing it as a secondary power. Now they faced a force that was not only technologically advanced, but also driven by a fierce determination born from years of quiet observation and covert preparation. The initial engagements were swift and decisive. Human fleets began targeting hostile forces with precision strikes, disabling enemy command centers and supply chains without unnecessary collateral damage. Unlike many galactic powers that relied on overwhelming brute force, humanity's tactics emphasized efficiency, adaptability, and psychological warfare. They exploited enemy weaknesses with ruthless intelligence, turning battles that should have been lost into stunning victories. News spread rapidly across star systems. The humans were no longer restrained. They were a formidable force willing to defend their interests with unrelenting aggression. Alien commanders who once dismissed Earth's warning found themselves outmaneuvered in the heat of battle, their fleets shattered by coordinated strikes that leveraged human ingenuity and advanced technology. However, the humans were not without their challenges. The enemy was not a monolith, but a coalition of diverse species with vastly different tactics, cultures, and motivations. This forced Earth's military to continuously evolve its strategies, fostering innovation and flexibility among their forces. Their secret advantage was their ability to unify diverse human factions with a common purpose, an adaptability that many alien civilizations lacked. Amidst the rising human dominance, the Galactic Council scrambled to develop a countermeasure. After weeks of intense research and political debate, they unveiled a terrifying new weapon, a superweapon capable of destroying entire star systems in one devastating blast. This weapon represented the last hope for the alien coalition to stem the tide of human expansion. Its activation sent shockwaves throughout the galaxy. Entire worlds were forced to reconsider their allegiance, torn between fear of human retribution and terror of the superweapon's destructive capacity. The looming threat pushed some factions to secretly negotiate with Earth, while others doubled down on resistance. The story's tension escalates as Earth's military leaders recognize the existential danger this superweapon poses, not only to human colonies but to the balance of power in the galaxy. They must plan carefully, knowing that any misstep could lead to catastrophic losses. As this part closes, the galaxy is caught in a precarious balance. Earth's unleashed power has altered the cosmic order, forcing every species to confront the reality that war has truly begun, and mercy may no longer have a place in the conflict. The rapid and overwhelming military surge from Earth sent shockwaves rippling across the galaxy's political landscape. Previously stable alliances between alien species began to fracture as fear and uncertainty took hold. The Galactic Council, once a symbol of order and unity, found itself teetering on the brink of collapse. Many species, once confident in their superiority over humans, were now desperate to protect their interests. Old rivalries, long held in check by diplomatic protocols and mutual economic benefits, flared into open hostility. Some factions saw opportunity amid the chaos, while others sought new alliances to survive the coming storm. At the heart of this turmoil was the unveiling of the alien superweapon, the devastating star system annihilator. It became a powerful, bargaining chip and a symbol of hope for those opposed to humanity's rising dominance. But it also deepened divisions. Some factions demanded immediate deployment to crush Earth's forces, convinced that this was their only chance to stop the unstoppable. Others feared the superweapon's uncontrollable destructive potential, warning it might doom the entire galaxy if misused. Amid this fracturing political scene, Earth's intelligence networks intensified their efforts. Espionage, sabotage, and covert operations escalated dramatically. Human agents infiltrated enemy factions, stealing vital information and sabotaging supply lines. At the same time, alien spies and mercenaries targeted human sympathizers and colonies, hoping to weaken Earth's foothold from within. These covert battles created a shadow war that raged alongside the open conflicts, making it difficult for either side to fully trust their allies. Diplomatic missions frequently ended in betrayal or assassination attempts, and even once loyal allies began to question their stance as the galaxy grew more volatile. In response, Earth deployed a specialized strike team composed of elite operatives, Soldiers, scientists, and strategists trained for the most dangerous missions. Their objective: to infiltrate the heavily fortified enemy research facility believed to be developing the alien superweapon. This mission was crucial. If the strike team could sabotage or destroy the superweapon before it became fully operational, it could shift the war's balance decisively in humanity's favor. However, the team faced near impossible odds, confronting not only formidable defenses, but also an enemy desperate to protect its most valuable asset. The strike team's journey through hostile territory was fraught with danger, requiring them to employ every ounce of skill, cunning, and adaptability. Their success or failure would not only determine the immediate fate of the war, but also send a message about humanity's resolve and capability. Meanwhile, back on Earth and among human-controlled colonies, political leaders worked feverishly to solidify alliances with alien factions willing to defect or remain neutral. These new partnerships were delicate and required careful diplomacy to navigate the fractured political landscape. Every decision carried the risk of sparking further conflict or losing critical support. Throughout this turmoil, humanity's reputation began to shift. No longer viewed as naive newcomers or minor players, humans earned grudging respect, even fear, as they demonstrated their willingness to fight fiercely and strategically. Their combination of advanced technology, tactical innovation, and unwavering determination made them unpredictable and formidable foes. By the end of Part 3, the galaxy was a powder keg of shifting loyalties and secret battles. The alien superweapon loomed as both a threat and a prize, while Earth's strike team pushed deeper into enemy territory with a mission that could change everything. The war was no longer just a clash of armies. It had become a complex web of alliances, betrayals, and covert operations where every move mattered. The stage was set for a confrontation that would decide not only the war's outcome, but the future of the entire galaxy. The fragile peace shattered completely as open warfare erupted across multiple star systems. What began as isolated skirmishes and covert strikes rapidly escalated into full-scale battles, dragging the entire galaxy into a brutal conflict that few had dared to imagine. Earth, no longer holding back, led its forces with ruthless precision. The initial strikes were devastating. Coordinated fleet attacks overwhelmed alien defenses, severed supply routes, and dismantled command networks with unprecedented speed. Humanity's mastery of technology and tactics allowed them to control the pace and scope of battles, keeping enemies off balance and reactive. The warfront became a chaotic mosaic of battlefields, asteroid belts, orbital stations, gas giants, and the deep void between stars all became deadly arenas. Human forces demonstrated incredible adaptability, frequently employing unconventional strategies that alien opponents found baffling and difficult to counter. From guerrilla-style hit-and-run attacks to devastating orbital bombardments, humanity's tactics combined creativity with ruthless efficiency. One of humanity's greatest advantages was their ability to rapidly innovate on the battlefield. As alien forces introduced new weapons or defensive technologies, human engineers quickly developed countermeasures, turning the enemy's strength into weakness. Advanced AI systems analyzed combat data in real time, adjusting strategies instantly and optimizing resource deployment. Human commanders trusted their instincts but relied heavily on technology's precision and speed. Amid the relentless clashes, individual acts of heroism emerged. Pilots who defied impossible odds, soldiers who held critical positions against overwhelming forces, and medics who saved lives under fire, all became legends inspiring both troops and civilians alike. These stories spread throughout human and alien colonies, fueling morale and intensifying the conflict's emotional weight. However, the warfront also revealed humanity's vulnerabilities. The protracted fighting strained supply lines and tested the endurance of soldiers and civilians alike. Some human colonies suffered brutal sieges, and the toll of casualties and destruction mounted. The psychological weight of endless war began to weigh heavily on even the most hardened veterans. Meanwhile, the alien coalition rallied desperately. The alien superweapon, a dark specter looming over every battle, was finally operational. Its activation sent shockwaves through the galaxy, forcing humanity to divert significant resources toward protecting their key worlds. The threat of annihilation cast a long shadow over every military engagement, adding urgency and desperation to the fight. As Earth's forces scrambled to defend their homeworld and vital colonies, the galaxy's balance of power seemed to teeter on a knife's edge. The superweapon's devastating potential challenged human dominance, threatening to undo their hard-won gains and plunge entire regions into ruin. This part of the story culminates in a massive battle near a strategically critical system. Human and alien fleets clashed in a titanic struggle, with staggering losses on both sides. The fight was brutal and chaotic. Fleets were shattered, planets bombarded, and alliances tested. Despite the chaos, human forces displayed unyielding resolve, leveraging every advantage to hold the line. The warfront ignites not only a physical conflict but a clash of wills. Humanity's fierce determination and innovative tactics shock the galaxy, while the looming threat of the superweapon forces all sides to confront the brutal realities of total war. By the end of Part 4, the galaxy stands at a crossroads. The ID conflict has escalated beyond anyone's expectations, and the consequences of each battle ripple across star systems. The war is no longer a distant struggle. It has become an all-consuming fight for survival and dominance. As the war spreads relentlessly across the galaxy, Earth itself becomes the ultimate battleground. The alien coalition, desperate to turn the tide, directs its full fury toward humanity's homeworld, Earth. The superweapon, now fully operational, looms as the greatest threat ever faced by any civilization, capable of obliterating entire star systems in seconds. The stakes have never been higher. Earth's leaders understand this grim reality. They begin fortifying the planet with unparalleled urgency, transforming cities into sprawling defense complexes and mobilizing every available resource to repel the impending onslaught. Military engineers retrofit orbital platforms with new shield technology, while ground forces train relentlessly for the battles to come. The Last Stand is not just a military campaign. It is a test of human spirit and unity. Citizens from every walk of life contribute. Scientists accelerate the development of countermeasures, civilians volunteer for defense units, and diplomats work feverishly to secure fragile alliances. The human race stands as one, ready to face annihilation rather than surrender. The alien forces launch a series of devastating assaults. Massive fleets darken Earth's skies, deploying relentless bombardments designed to wear down the planet's defenses. Simultaneously, ground invasions target key cities and military installations, forcing humanity into brutal urban warfare. The conflict is raw and intense, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. Despite the overwhelming odds, Earth's defenders fight with extraordinary tenacity. Human soldiers, pilots, and commanders employ every tactic they have honed throughout the war: guerrilla warfare, precision strikes, and coordinated counterattacks. The fierce loyalty to their homeworld and the desire to protect their families fuel their unyielding resistance. Amidst the chaos, heroes emerge. Some lead daring missions behind enemy lines to sabotage alien supply chains. Others orchestrate critical evacuations or hold strategic positions against all odds. Their sacrifices inspire hope in a seemingly hopeless situation. At the heart of the conflict, Earth scientists race against time to analyze the alien superweapons technology. Through desperate research and dangerous expeditions into battle-scarred zones, they uncover a hidden flaw, an exploitable weakness that could turn the tide. This discovery injects a renewed sense of hope and urgency into the defenders. With this knowledge, Earth's military planners prepare for a decisive counterstrike. The final battle will demand every ounce of courage, ingenuity, and sacrifice. It is a fight not only for survival, but for the future of humanity and the galaxy. The climax of Part 5 is a breathtaking, large-scale battle involving fleets in orbit, ground forces clashing in ruined cities, and covert teams infiltrating enemy command centers to disable the superweapon. The battle is fierce and costly, pushing human endurance to its limits. In the aftermath, while the superweapon remains a terrifying threat, its flaw gives humanity the opportunity to strike a crippling blow, The battle leaves Earth scarred but unbroken, a symbol of resilience and defiance against overwhelming odds. Part 5 closes on a note of grim determination. Humanity has endured the darkest hour, but the war is far from over. The galaxy watches, waiting to see if Earth's last stand will spark the beginning of the end, or if total destruction is inevitable. The galaxy stands at the precipice of annihilation. After the fierce battles, shattered alliances, and humanity's desperate last stand on Earth, the final phase of the war, the reckoning, has arrived. This is the moment where the fate of entire star systems will be decided, and the consequences will ripple across generations. The revelation of the superweapons flaw proved pivotal. Earth's military strategists, scientists, and covert operatives coordinated a daring campaign to exploit this weakness, but the victory was far from complete. The alien coalition, while battered and fragmented, refused to surrender. Desperation fueled their resolve, making them even more dangerous adversaries. As the reckoning unfolds, both sides marshal their remaining strength for the ultimate confrontation. Massive fleets converge near the contested core of the galaxy, where control over critical hyperspace lanes and resource-rich systems hangs in the balance. The battle lines blur between space, planetary surfaces, and shadowy covert operations. Every tactic, every weapon, and every ounce of willpower is brought to bear. Earth's forces lead with a newfound confidence, emboldened by their resilience and the successes of their strike teams. Their advanced AI and battlefield innovations now operate in perfect harmony with human intuition and adaptability, creating a formidable force. Yet the costs have been immense. Countless lives lost, colonies devastated, and homes forever altered. On the opposing side, alien leaders desperately seek new strategies to outmaneuver humanity. Some factions fracture further, unwilling to continue the fight, while others adopt radical measures, deploying devastating new weapons or even resorting to forbidden technologies that threaten to corrupt or destroy entire worlds. The war becomes a crucible, testing the very essence of each species involved. Old grudges, fears, and ambitions clash as the conflict reaches a fever pitch. Unexpected alliances form and dissolve. Trust becomes a rare commodity, and every decision could mean survival or annihilation. At the heart of this chaos is the Human Leadership Council. They grapple not only with military strategy but with profound ethical dilemmas. How far should humanity go in pursuit of victory? What sacrifices are justifiable? These questions weigh heavily as they confront the possibility that victory might come at a price far greater than anyone anticipated. Amid the vast battles, individual stories of courage, sacrifice, and betrayal weave through the conflict. Pilots who defy death in impossible dogfights, scientists racing to contain failing systems, and diplomats struggling to broker fragile truces all highlight the human dimension amid the galactic-scale war. The climax of Part 6 is a monumental confrontation, a desperate final battle where Earth's forces strike deep into enemy territory, aiming to neutralize the last remaining threats and force a decisive end to the conflict. The battle is fierce and chaotic, with shifting fortunes and moments of both triumph and tragedy. As the dust settles, the galaxy is forever changed. Some systems lie in ruins. Others rise from the ashes with new hope and purpose. The Galactic Council, once fractured, begins tentative steps toward rebuilding. Humanity emerges as a dominant power, no longer underestimated or dismissed, but also carries the heavy burden of their choices and the war's devastating costs. The story closes on a powerful note of reflection and cautious optimism. The war may be over, but the scars remain. The galaxy must now navigate a new era shaped by the lessons learned from humanity's fierce determination to survive and defend their place in the cosmos.